Hi everyone, welcome to Media Power. I'm Mengdi Li. In this video essay, I will share some of the theories I have learned during the semester 1 and the semester 2 about video. Also, I will critically reflect upon my practice by comparing and contrasting the two group videos, combining with the YouTube metrics and the social media posts. I aim to reflect what works well and what fails in the two videos.
In Burger Steps framework, I will analyze how the key characteristics work to make a media content contagious by illustrating my two videos. Also, drawing on Guo et al.'s characteristics of engaging educational video, I will argue that short, instructional videos are crucial to continually deepen the impression of educational videos and help to build a more comprehensive understanding of the content. Besides, based on Tannenbaum and the Schmidt continuum module, I will analyze the leadership and the roles I have played in our group. In addition, I will consider Kammet's tie theory about identifying strong, weak, and latent ties between various network nodes of digital activism. Besides, I will use Cohen and Lingwall's theory of social media campaign plan to reflect how social media have affected user engagement of our videos. According to John Berger, the 6 steps are the crucial imitation which attracts the audience to talk about and share the media content. In other words, these characteristics help to make content likely to diffuse from person to person via word of mouth and social influence, and to make content contagious to more audiences. Comparing the two different group videos, I found that both two programs have 3 same characteristics in Burger Steps theory, which are the social currency, triggers, and practical value. As Berger mentioned in his article, social currency is to find the inner remarkability of the media content and make people feel like insiders. In both videos, our team attempts to attract people's attention by using the vlog-style video and the mission system, which make people feel like they are following the progress with the people in the video. Second, both videos leave an impression on people's mind by using typical factors which link the video to prevalent cues in a different environment. For example, in the first group video for School of Medicine, we use medical modules which are easy to link to the clinical skills theme as the major objects throughout the video. Similarly, the second video, which called Who Wants to Be a Volunteer, is an imitation of the popular television program Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. In this video, our 4 questions are about the volunteer in Williamson's tunnels, which achieved both the objective of the clients and attracted more people to visit. Third, both videos introduce useful information to audience, such as increasing awareness of clinical skills teaching in the learning zone in the first video, and teaching people how to join the volunteer of the Williamson's tunnels in the second video. However, compared with the first video, the second video seems more successful in achieving Burger Steps framework. In the second video, both the title and dialogue between the ruler and the students evoke people's surprising emotion when they are watching the video. Besides, the video makes the process of drawing the volunteer more observable by introducing the duties of the volunteer and how to use the websites to join the digging team, which makes it easier to imitate and more likely to become popular. Thus, the second video contains 5 characteristics which make the content contagious, that is, social currency, triggers, emotion, public, and practical value. Whereas the first video just obtained 3 principles, which are the social currency, triggers, and practical value. Nevertheless, both videos are lack of narrative when sharing the information. None of them embedded the ideas in stories that people want to tell, which might lead to a low engagement even though we contain most of the principles of contagiousness in Berger's theory.
Then I will talk about the genre of the two videos. During the process of planning the first video, our team had no clear idea about how to film the clinical skills teacher learning center, which might leave the genre of the first video a little bit vague.
The first video has both the form of travelogue and the educational content, which makes me confused when choosing the genre. After carefully thinking about the question, I prefer to define it as educational video since the purpose is to increase awareness of audience about the clinical skills, which related more to the non-formal learning process. According to Guo et al., shorter videos which in fast speed and plans to segment parts into chunks shorter than 6 minutes are much more engaging. In the first video, which is less than 3 minutes, the instructor uses a relaxed tone and briefly introduces the modules in the learning zone, which helps to bring out their enthusiasm and is easier to maintain high engagement. Second, Guo stated that video produced with a more personal feel could be more engaging than high-fidelity studio recording. It could be seen in the informal setting of the first video, which is filmed in a vlog style rather than the big-budget studio productions. It works better on attracting people's attention and keep a long memory in people's mind. Besides, Guo emphasizes the importance of the instructor's talking head, which is more engaging than slides alone. Similarly, Schroeder and Traxler illustrate the significance of the embedded video of the instructor, who makes the instructional video more human-like and engaging. The first video about the medical school is a typical instructional video, which is led by the students of the university. The verbal and visual coding is crucial to continually deepen the impression of viral videos and help to build a more comprehensive understanding of the video. However, the video is not well scheduled before filming, which leads to some mistakes and overlooked details in the video.
Besides, we have cut a lot because of the disagreement of the clients. Even though the video is permitted to be published on the YouTube, it still looks like a semi-finished product, which might lead to a low engagement of this video.
In contrast, the second video focuses on the digital activism theme, which means the use of digital technologies for social campaign, aiming to increase the engagement of the voluntary organization of Williams externals. Our group chose the topic of who wants to be a volunteer as social activism on guiding people to join the digging team. However, according to Kament's tie theory, the topic belongs to low risk and low ties. He states that low ties are less emotional and lead to less frequent exchanges and interactions. Actually, in this video, volunteering is neither a social problem nor a relative connection with people's daily life, even though the video has a certain effect on increasing the numbers of volunteers. It might not appear to a broad audience because of the limitation of the topic. In the aspect of the teamwork of two group projects, our group could be a working team according to Katzenbach and Smith's team types. In their words, the members of a working team interact primarily to achieve the individual perform within personal responsibility. Working groups thrive in hierarchical structures where individual accountability counts the most. The best working groups come together to share information, perspectives, and insights, and to make decisions that help each person do his or her own job better.
In our group, each people are responsible for their own jobs to achieve a common objective. Besides, all group members are positive to the group project. We have 3 more group meetings except for the lecture, and always completed before the deadline. In the group, I play the role of camera person, animator, editor, and also the graphics person, where other group members are responsible for other parts.
However, my roles in the team are opposites to Tannenbaum and Schmidt's continuous model, which shows the relationship between the level of freedom that the manager chooses to give to a team and the level of authority used by the manager. They suggest that the leader's authority decreases with the increase in the team's freedom. In contrast, our group is lack of an absolute leader who is responsible for directing and coaching. Differently, members of our group always finish their own part without others' help. Based on Len Shonlin's 5 dysfunctions fable, our team has a problem in attention to results. He states that the ultimate dysfunction of the team is the tendency of members to care about something other than the collective goals of the group. For members of some teams, merely being part of the group is enough to keep them satisfied. For these people, achieving specific results might not be necessarily worthy of great efforts. In our team, the unbalanced division of labor make the collective results of the group less important to each individual.
In other words, some members undertook most jobs, whereas some people seldom have individual tasks actually. Although each member takes some responsibilities during the whole project, we still need to change the division of labor by ensuring the group's attention is focused on the collective results. We could make results clear and reward only those behaviors and actions that contribute to those results, which might help to overcome the dysfunctions in the further group work.
Cohen and Lin will explain how to set the social media campaign plan, which includes everything related to the social media channels to achieve specified objectives for the client. They provide a 6-part structure for effective campaign plans. For example, the social media channels used and the audience analysis. Our group has made a detailed social media promoting plan before filming. In the School of Medicine video, our target audiences are current students, prospective future students, and the general public. To attract these audiences, our group introduced some basic clinical skills which are easily accepted by the public and some basic modules in the clinical skills learning zone to appeal people who had not been to the learning zone before. In the aspect of social media promotion, we used both strong ties and weak ties mentioned by Granovetter. He defines weak ties are a weak emotional connection with little time spending. Thus, the utilize of the weak ties is the most effective way to get the content to reach more audiences. In our first video, we use WeChat Moment, Sina Weibo, Twitter, QQ, and Facebook to promote our video. Besides, we utilize our strong ties by inviting our friends in WeChat to support our project. Similarly, the second video also utilizes both strong ties and weak ties to attract the target audience who are willing to join the volunteer team or invest in the digging project. However, the second video seems less successful in appealing user engagement than the first video on YouTube. Combining with the YouTube metrics, the first video got 39 likes, 27 comments, and 2 subscribers, and has 520 views before the submission date, while the second video got 30 likes, 4 comments, and has 338 views before the submission date. The first video obtains higher engagement in 5 days than the second video, which has published for 10 days before the submission date. However, we could find that the second video keeps longer audience retention than the first video, which means the second video is more attractive on the content than the first video. The reason why the second video obtains lower engagement might be the lack of social media promotion on different platforms. In fact, I did not use my strong ties to promote the video and just published it on the WeChat Moment. In addition, our group members just published latest tweets for 2 times rather than updating daily. Compared with the 2 group videos, we could find some promotions and also some problems. The second video has used more software than the first video, such as the Photoshop, the GarageBand, and the recording software, while the first video just used Final Cut Pro. Besides, the second project was well organized on the plots, dialogues, and the details, which obtained more principles in Burger's steps theory. However, both projects have the same problems on the unbalanced division of individual work and the lack of social media promotion, which lead to the lower engagement of the second video and have negative effect on both group projects.
In conclusion, even though we haven't obtained the original plans for our 2 videos, I still learned a lot on using different shooting equipment and combining several software to make one video. Comparing with the first semester, I learned how to cooperate with the group member to achieve a harder task and understanding the difference between the personal video and the cooperative video. Although the latter is more limited to the topic by the clients, it brought more achievability when finishing the work than the individual project. During the module, I received many suggestive comments that might inspire me for my further videos, and I enjoy the work of editing, which might affect my further career and my whole life. I really appreciate this opportunity on combining my favorite editing with the school courses, and thanks for Carrie to give us this opportunity to cooperate with the local organizations. This has been me, Mengdi, for MediaPo. If you like this video, please click like and do subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.